Morning, survivors. How you doing today? Quiet as usual, I see. I will admit, there are nice things to being alone. I'm not one for driving, but traffic is at an all-time low. That also means less smog. For those of you listening outside of Utah, we get trapped in this nasty smog from all the car emissions and bullcrap. But ever since everyone's on foot these days, it means you can breathe fresh mountain air without any of the pollutants. I don't have to wait in lines for groceries. And I can read. Did I mention I like to read? I'm really good at studying for stuff. And no one interrupts me when I finally get to the good part. That's the worst. That's just the worst. You're reading your book and you're enjoying whatever, and some idiot comes up to you and is like, "What you reading?" Listen, you don't actually care what I'm reading. Do you? You just feel uncomfortable with the silence, so you need to fill it with small talk. I knew a guy one time that he would make his presence known to make himself, like, stand out. He would go read a book in the corner of a club. True story. He said that people would stop by, and they're always wanting to know what's so alluring about this book. What draws you to go to a club but read a book in the dark corner instead of drinking and dancing? To me, that sounds like a complete waste of time, money, and a really good book. But what do I know? But enough about failed attempts at flirting. I went to the library. Oh, I love the library. So many good books. And just so much to read, so much knowledge. And even when everything was normal, there were so few people there. I could read for hours, and no one would approach me. I imagine it's like going to church and praying. It's the place that you go to do the thing. But the priest or the vicar or whatever isn't going to stop you. No one's going to ask, "Hey, what are you praying about?" Do they? I don't know. I don't do much praying. What brings people to want to interrupt your quiet moments? Probably some overly masculine types, the jock stereotype of people that consistently claim their golden years were back in high school when they blocked a pass or got a goal that won the school victory. You know what I think? I think if you're listening to this, if you're hearing my voice, you're a bunch of nerds. Like me. Not someone who got stuck in the past like that. What's my evidence? Well, Royal Army guy didn't make it. Here I am. Still alive. How else would you be able to listen to me? You had to do what I did. Anyways, I went to the library, and I have just been voracious about reading. And I read this really cool thing. You know Pythagoras, the triangle guy? A squared plus B squared and all that? I mentioned that math and I never got along. Fractions and percentages and... But, so, you know the triangle guy. Nerds like me, right? Well, what a lot of people don't know is he wasn't just the triangle guy. He did a lot of philosophy stuff and taught lectures on his thinkings as well as his maths. But, here's the kicker. He believed he should teach a group without ever being seen, hiding behind a curtain. He wanted to emphasize the importance of his words, give them value based purely on the string of words put together, not because of who he was. By not knowing who was speaking, it would cause this ubiquity and almost a belief of authority to this unknown speaker. He believed his audience would randomly sit down and listen and go, you know what? This one makes a lot of sense. I don't know who he is, but I like what he's preaching. And he gained his following purely on his words and not just his name. And this is why we know him so well today, because everyone who heard him talk was able to remove any preconceived notions about him. They didn't just think, hey, it's the Greek triangle guy. Better really pay attention to his words. Don't you see? That's me. By using this acousmatic idea, you don't see me, but you hear me. And I am nowhere but everywhere. By tuning into this CB channel, this FM, and soon AM, I need more books to get that working. And although, who listens to AM, really? I mean, who listens to AM? Probably you nerds. It does have longer frequency bands. Where was I going with this? Oh, right, yeah. So acousmatic means presenting music or ideas from a sound system instead of an actual live speaker. And it tends to lead to more of this blind trust in who is speaking. That by not knowing where it comes from, you like it more. Like a preacher on the radio, those mega churches that started on radio. You know who first started that idea? John R. Brinkley. Again, I've been voracious about reading. Guy believes he is the cure for the masses and starts selling snake oils over the radio, and even when the local government tries to shut him down and get involved, the people rallied behind him. Because his voice was everywhere. This guy was so insanely smart. He would set up speakers all throughout his town so the people would always be hearing his voice. It's so easy to trust a voice that tells you everything will be all right. Trust the man who knows not of your everyday, but knows the cures whatever your illness is. This guy was absolutely mad. He did some really shady stuff with all this power, amassed a fortune, but of course eventually his kingdom fell pretty quick. But here's my point. This guy was selling snake oils. The megachurches started selling eternal salvation for pennies. All to trick you into your money for something that's not real. But I am real. Here I am with food, with electricity, warm water, tangible evidence of preservation. I don't want your money. I am offering you salvation. No strings attached. But if I have to go their route, the people who are so quick to connive your wallet into theirs, I can try that too. I, Gabriel Blythe, call upon you. Yes, you, who's behind that speaker that sits in your ear, or as you huddle for shelter over the speaker playing to the empty room. You are my parish, and you have lived in fear of the voice from nowhere. The voice that is everywhere. And I say, live in fear no more. But maybe you're right in fearing me. All this power that I have, bent to my will in a few short weeks? Maybe I'm the only survivor here. But based on the evidence around me, I might be the smartest man around. Or at least in Utah, and all of its 84,899 square miles. Well, my parish, my humble following, I say to you again, do not fear me. Come to me. Let us gather together. Tomorrow, at the college. You will see me standing atop this brick facade, and we shall begin this world anew. You will come to me, and we can save each other and humanity one step at a time. I shall be there from midday to sundown, and so shall you. I will not be listening for a response, as I need not hear any other voice. You can be safe with me. Good luck, my parish.